Hi crafters, and welcome to Finish It Friday, episode 184. So here's where we left off on Wednesday. So here is our base card. This one happens to be 4 1/4 by 11, scored at 5 1/2. We have our 3 3/4 by 3 3/4 square. This we have cut diagonally into triangles. We have our 3 3/4 by 3 3/4. 3 1/2 by 3 1/2 square, also cut in triangles. We have our 3 by 3, and then we have our 1 1/2 by 4 on the opposite end. So now, my friend and fellow watcher Marguerite has said that I worked so hard to make sure that I didn't cover up that dark spot. So I'm going to rearrange kind of how we had our layout from Wednesday. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to layer these so that there's a little bit of a border all the way around. Go ahead and do that. I'm trying this out just because I've had some issues with, not so much with my grip, but just my hand being really tired, my dominant hand. So I thought I would try out that glue press. And it's all right. It saves a lot of glue, but I don't know if I like it as much as I do just having my regular bottle. I think this is a lot handier to have around. This might work good like when I'm in like weekend classes or that, but I think for our segments that this works just fine. All right, so what Marguerite was saying was that, I wanted to keep that dark, so why would I cover, not so much why would I cover it up, but that I covered it up. So I am going to go ahead and I'm going to glue this down, leaving that tiny 1/8 of a border. That might be even a 16th, I'm not sure. So we're going to glue that one down first. We're not going to do any of the others right now because I'm going to show you what I'm going to do so I don't cover up that gorgeous, beautiful, dark flower. All right, let's get this lined up so I have a little bit of a border all the way around that triangle. All right, so I am going to put this in here and I'm going to leave that tiny border on this side. But I'm thinking instead I might bring it down enough, because if I leave it down here like this with the tiny border on the bottom and the side, I can put this right in the middle to kind of cover that up. And so what I want to do, because I don't want to cover up that dark flower, is that I am going to go ahead and place this down. I'm going to bring this up as much as I can until I don't see it. So like right about there. I'm going to kind of just do a little bit of a score with my finger because I'm right on the edge of that card, so I know where to cut. So let's go ahead and bring that in here. So now I'm going to have this that will, and we might have to trim some of it off, but I'm going to have that there. I'm going to have that there. And again, I'm going to have to probably trim some of that off. I'm going to put this right in there. And then I'm going to cover that up. I've really bent the corner on that. And I'm going to cover that up so it looks like it's one just long strip. So let's go ahead and put some glue down here. I'm going to get it right in that corner. I'm going to get my line like that, right along that edge. No, we're going to go up just a little bit more. We're going to put this right against it, and that's going to leave that little bit of an edge on the bottom there. Need to get that just a little bit closer. There we go. That's good. Let's get this down here in this corner so we barely have that 1/8 of an inch showing through again. Seeing this, and I don't know if I'll be able to take it off without ripping. There we go. I want to get that right in between there, but yet cover up that end so we don't have any white spots showing. All right, so that looks good there. I'll trim off that extra there. Let's go ahead, go down here, put our glue down here. Again, we're going to go in there. We don't want that edge of the card to show though. And we're going to stamp on this and put it in the middle there. But let's let this dry for just a second. Probably could have got that a little further over towards, there we go. Just hang on to it there. All right, now let's go. I'm going to go grab a new stamp set. All right. This is coming out in the May to September catalog, and it's a stamp and die set. This is what the new die sets, they'll cut and they emboss using that embossing. So it'll cut this out. If I had stamped this, it would, then it also embossed it. So that's kind of the new thing. They have a couple sets where you'll see on your die, let me show you, and that's how it's shown on here. You'll see your die has the definite cut marks, but then it has lower marks on it. So then when you run that through the with the impressions mat, it gives you that impression as well. So it's kind of like a die and embossing folder in one. All right, so anyway, I'm not going to be using that. I'm going to be using that beautiful flower here. And I store both my dies and my stamp set in the same folder. That way they're always together. But let's go ahead. I think I want to do this distinctive flower here. And then I'll use maybe I'll do the hello friend in the bottom. Yep, let's do it that way. All right. Since this is a distinctive stamp, and by that I mean you can see the different levels of the photopolymer there, I am going to use my Stampin' Positioner. Grab that from under my work desk. Alright, so here's my Stampin' Positioner. And let me go grab my Bubble Bath and Secret Sea. I have decided, since I'm not that thrilled yet, I have been using the new hybrid black pad that's coming out in the May catalog. I have been using it more, I'm beginning to like it a little bit more, but I'm not going to say I love it quite yet. I'll just put it that way. But until then, I am going to use Secrecy mostly in my videos as my black. Alright, so let's go ahead. Let's put this on here. Hopefully this will stamp good since I have the magnets really close to there. Let's go ahead. We're going to do it with Bubble Bath, even though I think the cardstock, I can't remember on Wednesday if that was Bubble Bath or if that was Pretty in Pink. I think we decided on Bubble Bath. We're just going to do a little bit of a tone on tone. I think I'm going to stamp it one more time. I don't think my cardstock moved. I'm hoping it didn't. There we go. So we're just going to do that tone on tone. Let's cover this one up. Let's get that Hello Friend. Right here in the corner. All right, I'm going to take this off. I'll just put it on there for now. So let's go ahead, press down. Let's get that Secret C. And let's do it just one more time. Just so it's a little darker. All right. So there, let me put this over here because that all has to be cleaned. Let me get those magnets off. Let's do this. All right, it's all going to stick together. All right, so then we're going to come over here, and I think I want to pop that up. I think I'm going to pop that up. I'm going to get this dimensional right in the corner there, so hopefully that corner sticks down a little bit. Let's put a couple in the middle. Remember, I don't have any backings to take off because I put my packing tape on over the backings, and so when I pull this up, my backings are automatically caught here, and I don't have them all over my house. So let's go ahead. Let's put this down and put it down low enough that we don't cover that flower that I wanted to save. And then let's just go ahead and take our scissors and let's just go along that edge, cut off those overhangs. This one, I think I'm going to go from this way so I can stay on that edge. There we go. And then just that little snip right off there. And there you are. There we have our card using those parameters. So we took everything that was square and rectangle and made it diagonal. You could add some embellishments if you want. Alright, so here's one where I actually just kept the squares and rectangles the way they were and just did my layering and then did that two-step stamping with that set. This is very old DSP. I'm trying to use up some of my old stuff. This one, I cut the squares into rectangles, except for this one. I cut these into rectangles. I cut the 1.5 by 4 and a 1.5 by, no, 3/4 by 4. 3/4 by 4 and layered them that way. So you see, here's one strip, here's the other strip that was cut in half. And so I kind of just left it like that. Added more embellishments than I really needed to on that one. But that's it, guys. That's my video for Friday. I really like, thank you, Marguerite. I really like the fact that your comment just saying, oh, something about covering up the dark flower really made me rethink how I was going to lay this out. So that just shows how great minds can come up with a great idea. All right, that's it, guys. I'm going to go. I'm rambling on. Hope you have a great weekend. Hope you had a safe week. And I'll see you next week for our next installment of Watch It Wednesday, Finish It Friday. Go ahead and give me that thumbs up if you don't mind. Share, tell your friends about my channel, have them subscribe. I'm inching closer to that 500, so I really thank you for all your help with that. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.